I've been getting a lot of DMs from people saying the videos are helpful, and I'm super glad that they are. I try to make them like relevant to what students that I work with have experienced and stuff, so I'm really glad they're helping out. But I've also gotten a lot of DMs from people asking if I'm still tutoring, and I've been like tutoring here and there, but I'm just wanted to open it up for people. So I'm accepting new students for this month, and I can shed light a little bit on my experiences and how much I charge and all that stuff. So to shed light on my tutoring experience, and a little bit about my pricing, I just want to be transparent about the pricing. You can find all the details in the kind of like the comments section, but I charge $100 per hour. I have about 3 years of experience tutoring students, and so I've worked with students from the US and from Canada too. Which tutoring Canadian students, it can be challenging because we really have to boost their CARS score as much as possible, and many of them have had multiple attempts on the MCAT. So if that applies for you, I hope I can help out as much as I can. I've also tutored a lot of students who have different like conditions like ADHD, or anything that impairs their learning and their ability to perform on the MCAT and gives them like accommodations for the MCAT. I've also worked with students who have diagnoses but don't get accommodations from the MCAT. So those are challenging but really fulfilling kind of like scenarios to work with. Really fulfilling because when we see an improvement, it's like such a huge deal. So that's that. And I've also worked with a lot of students who have English as their second language, which is like a whole other bucket of challenges, but it's always super fun to help them out and, see them improve on CARS. For context, I scored a 131 on CARS, a 519 overall, and how I run my sessions is I have like slides and PowerPoint slides that I provide to students after, but really what I focus on is giving you kind of a menu of options for how to go through the questions and the passage, and then once I kind of explain them, we go over a passage together. I usually have students do it timed, and then I have them read the passage on their own, and then I jump in afterwards and we go over each paragraph together, and that helps me kind of like diagnose what's going on, and I kind of weave in some of the strategies that we cover, or I tell them, hey, you should try this out, and like you should try that out, etc. We do the same thing for the questions, so we go question by question. I don't usually time the questions. And that helps me figure out like if someone's getting stuck on 50-50, if they're spending too much time going back in the passage, or if they need like some different approach to help them out with the questions. I also really enjoy helping students make study plans. That's just something that I think is a really fun part of tutoring for CARS because you get to tailor it to the student. So I ask students, are you working? Do you have like someone that you're caring for? Because I've had a lot of students who are caregivers or had kids. I also ask them, are you taking classes? What's your schedule look like? How often can you how often can you study for CARS? And how much time can you dedicate? And from there, we make a plan that helps them figure out how many passages they should do per day, what kind of timing constraints should they have or should they not have, etc. Overall, it's a very open process. Like I like to discuss a lot of things with students, so that explains the price that I'm charging. I personally was a little hesitant to raise my rates because I used to tutor for a little bit lower, but I understood the value of the stuff that I'm providing, and I'm also trying to provide as much like free resources as possible. So if that's not an option for you to get tutoring, please check out my YouTube channel. I have all of my tutoring up there for free. Like the actual sessions that I give, I've pre-recorded them and I put them on the channel for free. So if there's any issues that you're having, that you're wondering, oh, I'm getting stuck on 50-50, I'm having trouble finding the main idea, that whole like 2-hour session that I usually have for people is on the channel for free. If you're wondering when tutoring is appropriate, it's usually appropriate when you've kind of tried everything and you're just not sure what's going on, or you want like a third or another set of eyes to like take a look at it and then help you understand what to do better. But please, 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 I'm emphasizing it so much. Check out the free resources on this page as well as the YouTube channel. I've gotten like so many nice DMs from people on like Reddit, on YouTube, and on TikTok saying that the videos help them. So yes, I am opening myself up for tutoring, but also I really want to make sure that people access the free resources that are out there and see if that helps you first, and if you like kind of like how I explain things and all that stuff. So just trying to keep it as transparent as possible. Please feel free to drop any questions in the chat or not in the chat, you know what I mean, the comment section. Also, in terms of availability, I am a student, so my schedule changes week by week. So if I have students, I tend to just reach out to them like the week of and see what they're interested in terms of availability. I also get the question a lot of like, how many sessions should I book, etc. An initial session is just like a good place to start. Some people like to do weekly, some people like to do bi-weekly, some people like to do it every month. It depends on how much help you think you need, and then you know, your finances as well. But the best way to gauge is, I always tell people to like send me updates, and then we decide based on the updates if it warrants meeting on Zoom. So I do all my sessions on Zoom. And yeah, if you're interested, feel free to contact me. I'll send over like a whole list of like questions that I use, kind of like a questionnaire to gauge like your baseline in terms of where you're at with cars, and then we go from there. So yeah, thanks for your time, guys.